Y'all seen this lady in France levitating?
That when they hurt you, hurt them back. Stop looking for all this, marching and civil rights and turn the other cheek, because they don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? They'll continue to press on you until you backed in the corner and you leach out and hurt one of them. And that's when they'll start leaving you alone.
But how are we going to hurt them economically, being a disenfranchised people without very much money on the whole?
You know what? If the black people ever figured out or sat down and calculated how much money they make, they would be the third richest nation in the world. Black people in the Western Hemisphere make more money than most foreign countries. You make more money than France as a whole country, blacks alone. They just don't know the power they have. And the way to hit them is stop working for them and start working for self and kind. Start doing things. Start building business from the inside out. Stop giving yourself to them as slaves and then expecting them to treat you other than a slave. If you want to be treated like a slave, keep working for them. As long as you work for them, you're still a slave. Or you got to look at the book of Revelations in an 18th chapter, tell you that they want the slaves and the souls of men, and they rule them by a form of sword.
So with all the stuff going on in the world right now, I made a flow chart for myself to decide whether or not any of it matters. So when concerning any and all world events, do I still have to go to work tomorrow? And if that answer is yes, then it doesn't matter. And if that answer is no, then another question gets posed, which is, do I still need to pay my rent? And if that is yes, then it doesn't matter. And if that answer is no, then it matters.
Why? Why is this such vitriol about telling us to go back to Africa? Why are KKKs on the side of the road telling us to go back to Africa? Why are African artists like Akon doing whole 2-hour soliloquies about black people needing to go back to Africa? Why? It's because you literally have to kill each and every last black American in America to break the lattice of heirs property. You literally, each and every last one of us will have to die in order to break the lattice of heirs property. Each and every last one of us will have to go back to Africa, because how heirs property work is backed by land patents. Land patents on the actual document, it says forever. This belongs to the family forever.
A Negro boy in the South.
You say black now.
All right, black. All right. All right. Is it not the same thing?
What? No, Negro. We are taught that all people are named after country. Chinese are named after China. Cubans are named after Cuba. Irish people are named after Ireland. Indonesians named after Indonesia. Japanese are named after Japan. Australians are named after Australia. But there's no country named Negro.
All right, then let me.
You understand?
I understand.
You're not as dumb as you look.
Let me rephrase. Do I look that dumb?
No, it's okay.
What I really mean is, did you?
History of ourselves, the history of our true religion, our nationality, our names. See, we don't have our names. I notice how proud you all are. Proud of your names. See, Chinese have names like Chang Chong, Lu Qian. This is Islamic teachings. Russians have names like Kosygin or Khrushchev. You have names like O'Connor or Grady or Kennedy. And Africans have names like Lumumba and Nkrumah. And Jews got names like Weinstein and Goldberg. And Italians got names like Dundee and Benvenuti and Marciano. But we have names like Grady and Clay and Hawkins and Smith and Jones and Johnson. But we are black.
These are the slave names.
Yeah, so when I heard this, I knew it was the truth. It's history. So Muhammad Ali is a beautiful black name of our ancestors. So when I heard this, I just had to walk out of the church and Christianity because they never taught us our true knowledge. Then they told me how we were brainwashed in America. We see Jesus, he's white with blonde hair and blue eyes. We see the Lord's Supper, all white people. We see the angels in heaven, all white people. Woman, Miss World, a white woman. Even Tarzan, the king of the jungles in Africa, he was white. He said, We see a white man swinging in Africa. With a diaper on. He beats up all Africans and break the lion's jaw. And then the Africans been in Africa for centuries. But he can't yet talk to the animals. But Tarzan, all of a sudden, some goat raised him up and he can talk to the animals. So I'm just showing you how the black man in America has been whitewashed his mind. And then we look at the good cowboys, they rode the white horses, and the president lived in a White House. They got TV commercials, White House cigars, white swan soap, King white soap, white cloud tissue paper, white rain hair rinse, white tornado flow wax, white plus toothpaste. The president lived in a White House, and the angel food cake was the white cake, but the devil food cake was the chocolate cake. Everything good was white. And when I heard this,
what year is it, bro? Like, I'm not even, like, what year is it? So check it out. This is why I'm saying this. In the year 1582, when the calendars were changed from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, they skipped 10 days. So the calendar went from October 4th to October 15th. From a Thursday to a Friday when they changed that. They never compensated for those 10 days that they skipped. So the next year, the calendar was 365 days. So we're 20 days behind. The year after that, the calendar was 365 days. And we're not even including leap year. This is something that's been on my mind for the last, I'll say, a good 6 weeks. I've been thinking about it every day, doing the math every day. And I always get to this point that we are in the year 2011. We are truly in the year 2011 when you compensate every year since 1582, 10 days. Do the math, and then subtract that from the year that we're in, and you'll see what year we're truly in. And then when you look at other calendars that are around this year, the Ethiopian calendar is in this year. So, like, I think about it, I'm like, yo, this is part of this scheme, because they don't even want us to know what day it is. You know what I mean? They don't even want us to know what day it is. So easily, they've been changing the dates since 1582 when they never compensated for those 10 days that they just skipped. Bro, am I wrong? I'm saying this out loud because I'm to the point that I need help. Like, am I wrong? Why didn't they ever compensate for those 10 days? And if they didn't, does that mean that every year we are 10 days plus behind and they are 10 days ahead? You know what I mean? And then throughout 300 years, 400 years, almost 500 years, like, those 10 days become 13 years that we're ahead, 12, 13 years. That's crazy. Do the math. That's something that bothers me, though. It bothers me a lot.
Rare compilation of Admiral Byrd's Antarctic expedition.
Plowing away through perilous Antarctic seas, the American icebreaker North Wind clears a path for ships of Admiral Byrd's expedition. Landing on the ice, advance parties approach the site of Little America No. 3, the famous camp founded in 1939. Digging soon locates the old settlement, and one of the party goes down to find the front door. Yes, there it is, and the pole marks the spot for some more spade work, while somebody prepares to shed a bit of light on the subject with a lamp from the old stores. And now the 1947 colony takes shape as tractors come overboard to run over the steel roadways of Little America number 4. A friendly game with the local inhabitants at the start of man's latest probe into the secrets of the South Pole.
Such was the magnitude of our flight operations that it is impossible to cover them with motion pictures. On this expedition, as on the others, we made many flights of exploration and discovered much land and islands and many mountains. I'm going to show you with this animated map how wonderful aviation is for exploration in the polar regions. On this first flight, we discovered some new land, a plateau, and some mountains. On this second flight, 1,200 miles to the eastward, we discovered more land and great mountains extending far to the eastward. On the third flight of 1,800 miles, we discovered still more land, another plateau, and some mountains which were not far from the South Pole. Then we found on another flight that these two plateaux were joined by land, thus solving the only remaining geographical mystery and proving that Antarctica is one good-sized continent instead of two islands as many scientists suppose. Antarctica, then, is our 7th continent and is larger than Australia.
Burger King and their all beef patties. It turns out their all beef patties included traces of pork and horse meat. Right. So I don't even understand how this happened, but actually I do understand how it happened. The supplier in this case was looking to put filler into the all beef patties, and the filler in this case ended up being pork and horse meat.
The inspectors also found human meat in several trucks on their way to deliver the burgers to the fast food restaurants. There are reports which suggest that upon inspecting McDonald's factories and food restaurants throughout the country, food authorities found human meat in 90% of the locations, while horse meat was found in 65% of the locations.
And why do you think none of these beef patties taste the same? Beef is supposed to taste like beef, right? I know I got fast food lovers out there who like, well,
Did you know that years ago, both Bill Clinton and George Bush put out statements warning us about the dangers of cloning? Watch till the end.
On the cloning of human beings until our Bioethics Advisory Commission and our entire nation have had a real chance to understand and debate the profound ethical implications of the latest advances. As we gain a fuller understanding of this technology, we must proceed not just with caution, but also with a conscience. By insisting that not a single taxpayer dollar supports human cloning.
A hopeful society has institutions of science and medicine that do not cut ethical corners and that recognize the matchless value of every life. Tonight I ask you to pass legislation to prohibit the most egregious abuses of medical research, human cloning in all its forms.
The Illuminati knows the answers, taking bone samples to clone rappers. But the artists in prison to silence their vision, genetic copies going home after. They look different, eyes shifted, smile missing, skin lifted. It's scientific. If they can't control you, they erase the old. You get your duplication to enforce their message. They clone Gucci, clone Kodak, clone Eminem.
Revolutionary right there, man. He just was disguised as a boxer. But when he fought with a purpose. Every time he opened his mouth, it was pure gems. So they had to shut him up. They had to silence him, man. 1981. Well, the fight where he got his jaw broke, that was a setup. They had put semen in Ken Norton gloves. You know, the ref was in on it. Everybody was in on it. Ali get in the ring with him. Norton got semen in his gloves. Broke Ali's jaw. A lot of people don't know that. Then, after that, once his jaw healed up, they came to Ali. They wanted him to keep quiet. He didn't want to. Because guess what Ali was going to do next? He was just going to start steady awakening the people. And he already had the name for it. He already had everybody listening to him in the 70s and going to them 80s. You know, he had that. So that was his next phase of life. And like they do with a lot of your celebrities that refuse to sell out, they silenced Ali. They killed them, cloned them, and replaced them. And then presented him to the public as a new Ali that had been diagnosed with Parkinson's. So that would keep people from being like, okay, well, why isn't he talking as much as it anymore? Or why is he got Parkinson's? Ali wasn't able to talk no more after that, really. He was always quiet and shaking and just pointing. Go pull them old clips up before he passed. You know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all all know how Ali was looking.
For you to say the first Chinese may have been black, you just erased your own people and history and gave the Wabos the history. You have no honor. So first of all, I just had to Google Wabo, and it means wannabe aboriginals. Make of that what you will. So this guy's upset because I talked about the research findings of Professor Jin Li of Shanghai's Fudan University, indicating that there is ancient black ancestry among the Chinese people. This professor talks about ancient migration patterns between Africa and Asia dating back some 60,000 years. And you can even see the likeness today when you compare the features of Chinese people and the Khoisan people of South Africa. I think it's sad that you feel I have no honor and that I've erased the history of my people in talking about this. The way I see it, we're mostly all taught one version of history, but that learning should never stop, and we should always be open to new information. And when we explore new information, I don't think it erases anything, it just adds to the richness of our history. And surely, if we learn that we might be more closely connected than we realized, that must be a good thing, not a bad thing, right?
So you go majority of your entire life before you awaken by just becoming accustomed and becoming used to the bullshit that you see in this reality. We are so used to waking up and becoming or going into the system, being a part of this fucking matrix. We're so used to it that we think it's normal. It's normalized at this point. When in actuality, this is the most sickest, disgusting, saddest plane of reality that we could ever experience. I noticed that I see old people and sick people more out in the morning time because everyone's at work. And all those who finally retired, when they finally reach age 60 and 70, they don't even have no energy no more. They are weak and brittle and sick, and pretty much their life is just as miserable as it was when they were working. And that's just an interpretation, or that's just a depiction of the human experience. It's fucking disgusting and it's fucking sick. And it's like when you awaken and soul finally enters your body, the actual spirit, the soul, the holy, the hierarchy, the all that is, whatever you want to call it. When soul finally embodies your spirit and it gets to look through your eyes, you get to really fucking see how disgusting this plane is on some real shit. You're disgusted and you're sad and you're broken and it hurts really bad to actually see that this reality really exists. Like every human I see, I just realize that they're just a forgotten. They're soul, but they're in a forgotten place. They have no idea what's going on in a higher realm, from a higher dimension, from a higher perspective. They don't know what's going on. They don't know how they've been robbed of their energy, how they're being robbed of their energy and their time and their chi, and it's being harvested to other star systems without them even realizing it, or it's just being harvested to keep the matrix going and to keep the energy harvesting on a complete loop. And all I'm saying is whenever you wake up, you're going to be disgusted. And it's going to hurt really bad to actually embody a part of God or a part of Source and invite Source into your vessel so Source can see through your eyes about how horrible this reality is. And it's a painful fucking experience. It's hard as fuck. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done is to actually face reality. Instead of being a victim to it, actually facing it and trying to rise above it. It's the most painful shit ever, bro. But I'm not gonna stop, you feel me?
Hey, what's going on, John Connor? Listen, they about to find out real quick. All we are to do as believers is just sit in the crib and watch. Help, let me in. Be like, damn, that's fucked up.
Cat been trying to put us on game.
Gonna be cheap as shit, nigga. Fuck that. I went to McDonald's, got the McClone combo for 19 cents, nigga. Had 11 big ass Big Macs in it. It was wonderful. That's all right. That's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Feed your baby the retarded ass clone cow meat and see what the fuck happened. You.
So I want people to get their mind off of burgers. Burgers is the distraction, okay? Burgers is a ploy. So if you remember in Rome, right, they used this Trojan horse strategy where they gave the enemy a big old present of a Trojan horse, right? But on the inside of that Trojan horse was the danger, right? That's what the burger thing is. It's not about the burger. It's about what's inside of it. And it's about what it will do to everybody who consumes it leading up to the 23rd. Burgers is just, it could be pizza, it could be pop, it could be anything. All of it's low vibrational, all of it's sugar, all of it's gonna make you become unaware of the events leading up to the 23rd. We all are vibrational beings. And should we all be mindful of how we feel and what we vibrate like leading up to the 23rd. That's why we shouldn't eat nothing and we should be fasting and doing nothing up to the 23rd. You understand?
The blue candle represents the element of water. The red candle represents the element of fire. The green candle represents the element of Mother Gaia or planet Kai or Earth. All right. The white candle represents the element of air. The pink candle represents the element of divine cosmic love, okay? Which is the pure form of love. For those who don't know what mudras are, because it's your first time catching a live lecture, that's cool. But mudras are basically when you hold because each finger represents an element. Each finger is connected to an element. They don't teach us this, once again, because we are divine beings, right? We are aboriginal, so we are everything. I'm gonna need us to do this mudra, okay? We're doing the one with the pinkies up. Basic crown chakra mudra, pinkies up, thumbs closed like this. That's how we going. We right here with it again today.
Hey y'all, check this out right quick.
Features of the tadpole's face and body. The relevance of electric frontiers in biology is no small matter. Planaria regenerate their tail end into a second head. Tadpoles bioelectrically modified to grow additional eyes, genetically altered so that a particular frequency of blue light would stimulate ion regulators in their cell walls. This allowed electric gradients in their body to be precisely changed to match the electrical characteristics that cue the body to grow all the tissues required for an eye.
Bro, they just said that the blue light is used to alter and change the DNA of the individual, where they put these nanotechnology inside of it, and they got blue lights all across the United States, bro, and that's exactly what it's doing. It's giving the nanotechnology an opportunity to change the DNA. That's exactly what they just said.